Hi everyone and welcome to this week's exercise module 3. In this week's exercise, we are going to calculate using a purchase order based at par levels. We will also be covering an important topic called receiving clerks report. Before we move on to uncalculating a purchase order using a par level, let's understand what exactly is a par stock. What is the meaning of par? Why do we write in capital? Because it's an abbreviation. What does it stand for? PAR stands for Periodic Automatic Replacement. In the restaurant business, the PAR level is an industry term used for effective inventory management. What does it mean? It is the minimum level of inventory you require on hand for a given time. Let's take a small example of a restaurant. In this restaurant, I notice there are many glassware on the table. There's cutlery, crockery, there's some plates, and there's also some napkins. So if I had to calculate par stock, I can calculate par stock for any item, for a food item, for a beverage item, or even for a non-food or beverage item, and for something like glassware or napkins or utensils on the table such as forks, spoons, and knives. I can calculate a par stock for anything in my restaurant. So for this example, we're going to be using the par stock for glassware. So let's say this restaurant has 80 covers. 80 covers means 80 guests can sit down at one given time and have a meal and leave the restaurant. When these 80 guests come, sit down, have their meal, and go away, you still have time. Your restaurant is still open. Now, if you're a good business, you can flip the table over, refresh the table completely, sanitize the table completely, and sell it to the next customer who walks into the door. That's what a good businessman would do. That's what a good manager would do. And that's what a good chef would do as well. Everybody is in this business for making money. But if I don't have enough stock with me to put onto the table, then I either have to first wash the product, make sure it is sanitized properly, make sure it is dry, and make sure it's in a usable condition when it comes back onto the table. Let's take the example of napkins. Is it really possible for me to wash a napkin after a guest uses it and dry it within minutes for the next and give it to the same customer who's coming back afterwards? No. If I'm a business who's depending on a third party vendor to take my napkins and my tablecloths and wash it and come back, it may be about 2 or 3 days before my inventory comes back. Hence, I need to have at least 2 par, 3 par, or 4 par of stock with me, which means that if I have an 80 cover restaurant and I have 80 covers is basically 80 glasses, that's 1 par for me. If I'm a good manager, I'll have a minimum of 2 par in which I have 160 glasses as backup in the side station stored. And then when it is utilized from a table and this is cleared away, the fresh glasses come up, the table is sanitized, the fresh glasses come up, fresh everything is made fresh on the table, and it's ready for the customer. Good managers also calculate breakage and other kind of aspects to include into their past stock. It's not every day that we go out in the market and buy glassware for ourselves. So when you are calculating your inventory management for your entire restaurant, you look at these kind of things as well, such as breakages. Let's consider the example of napkins. Same way, we have an 80 cover restaurant, so we need a minimum of 80 napkins on the tables. Every customer who's coming in and who has a meal should be given a napkin. That's what they all pay for. If I give it to one customer, I have to make sure all my customers get it because those are the standards of my restaurant. So that's 1 par. And then when those customers go away and the next customers come in, I need to have some more napkins with me. And hence, that's 2 par. Different businesses will either go for 3 par or they may even go for a 4 par. Again, all of this comes at a cost. It's nice to say let's have a 3 par or a 4 par or a 5 par, but it's a huge cost attached to it, and most businesses don't have those kind of budgets to work with. So now let's move on to the math component and work on a purchase order based at par levels. For this, we'll be moving on to the exercise in eCentennial. And when we move into the exercise, the first thing I want you to do is click on Module 3 Exercise. It'll download a document for you. You can open this document and start working on this Excel sheet. You need to click on Enable Editing to start working on the document and click on Instruction Sheet. That's the first tab you need to access. Put in your name and your student ID. We first, sorry about that, it's reading my ID as something else. Let's just call it. There we go. We're working on 3.1, in which we're going to complete a purchase order based on the par levels given to us. Right here. You must first calculate what you need by knowing what you have on hand. When making the order, make sure to round up so that you do not run out of product. Okay, so over here we've been told in the exercise these are many food items, and the chef needs to know how much is that par and how much is that on hand. We already know our par levels, our optimum par levels for operating our kitchen. In this case, we know we need yellowfin tuna at any given time of about 20 kgs. How much do we have? We have 5 kgs on hand. So we require 20 kgs minus 5 kgs, which is 15 kgs. Okay, so let's make another column over here called required. Let's highlight this entire cell in red so that we know this is the column we made, and also give it a border. Okay, so formula is again quite simple. Our required inventory is equal to the par minus on hand. I'm so sorry about my writing. I'm not using my pen today, I'm using the mouse, and hence it's a little difficult. My apologies if that looks untidy. Alright, so let's calculate this. Yellowfin tuna, our par stock is 20, we have 5 on hand. So 20 minus 5 is equal to 15 kgs. Tofu, we have 10 kgs, we need 10 kgs, we have 2 kgs. 10 minus 2 is equal to 8. Let's put 8 kgs. Margarine, in the same way, we start filling it all. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this for everyone. All right. In this particular situation, we need at any given time 2 kgs, but we have, for some reason, we have 3 kgs with us. Maybe someone ordered an extra batch not knowing that we already have brown sugar. So in this case, we won't be ordering anything, and we just put in a 0 over there. Same is the case with olive oil. We need 20 liters, but we have already 25 liters, so we won't be ordering any olive oil in this order, in this purchase order. Okay, so my requirement list is looking good. Just gonna wipe this out. Looks a little ugly. The next thing that we need to do is, let's move on to exercise 3.1. Now, we know our order quantity of how much we want. That's our requirement. We from here we can also see the pack size that the supplier is giving it to us or the purveyor is giving it to us at. In this particular situation, the yellowfin tuna, we get one pack in the size of a 1 kilogram pack. 1 kg, one pack of 1 kg costs $12.99. And hence, we need to understand this calculation and make an extension cost. An extension cost is nothing but your ordered quantity into the cost that we want, that the supplier is giving it to us. Now, to do this, I have to match my order quantity size and the size at which a supplier is giving us a material at. I have to make it the same size. In other words, it has to jive. So let's take a look at our instruction sheet. Now we're going to be flipping between these two sheets from time to time for each product. So please don't get disoriented. So let's take a look at that. So we know yellowfin tuna, we need 15 kgs. The supplier is selling it in kgs, so that's good. So let's just put it over there, 15 kg. The next product that we're going to see over here is tofu. Over here, the supplier is selling us tofu. One packet is of 0.5 kilograms, which means 500 grams. We, however, need 8 kilograms. So the logical thing to do over here is, I'm just going to make a note for you. The pack size is 0.5 kg. Therefore, the required amount is 16 units. So we basically require 16 units of this. So for our order quantity, we don't need to write, we need to order in units. So we're going to order 15 units because 1 kg is one pack, so 15 packs. For tofu, we'll be ordering 16 units. And why are we doing 16 units? Because we need 8 kilograms, but the supplier is selling one packet or one unit at only, which has a size of only 0.5 kilograms. Supplier does not have a 1 kilogram packet, so that does not stop us from ordering from our supplier. We simply take more packets to match the quantity that we require. Let's move to margarine. For margarine, it's in kgs and we need 4 kgs, so that's good. So we order 4 units. Eggs, supplier is selling it in dozens and we need 2 dozens, so that's good. Cream cheese, non-fat, supplier is selling it 4 kgs. We need 4 kgs, so that's good too. Sour cream, again in kgs, it's driving with my column over here. So what I'm doing is basically I'm just looking at the unit over here and I'm looking at the unit over here if it's the same. When it's not the same, then it raises some alarms for me and I have to make it the same so that I can calculate the unit price in the end. We're on Swiss cheese, kgs, and Swiss cheese is in kgs over here and I need 2 units. Next one is Parmesan, kgs, I just need 1. Low fat mayonnaise, it's in liters. So there's 1. The next one is pearl barley, put it as 4 over there as well. Brown sugar, oh, we don't need any brown sugar, so we're not going to order brown sugar this time. And I remember olive oil had the same thing, so we won't put a quantity for olive oil, we just put a 0 for both of those items. vegetable oil. Let's take a look at vegetable oil. Now, there may be a situation at some point when your vegetable oil comes to you either in a quantity of 3.78 liters, or let's say it says it's in a case. You get a full case. One case is of 3.78 liters. So let's use cases in this example. And what I will do is, I'll work with olive oil in cases, and I will work in vegetable oil in cases as well. So I'll make these two as cases. In your sheet, it will already come as cases. So now a supplier is selling us a case at 3.78 liters. One case is equal to 3.78 liters of vegetable oil. We need 18 liters. So now what are we going to do? So in a similar manner of how we calculated the kgs, we're going to work over here. So just going to put a little note for you. What we'll do is 18 liters divided by 3.78 liters is equal to 4.78 cases. Now, we can't really order 4.78 cases. I can't tell my supplier, give me 4 cases, and then from the other case, just give me 0.78. He's going to laugh at me and say, sorry, buddy, I cannot do that. But I need the extra 0.78. So I can't round down. I can just order 4 because my chef will be very upset if we run out of vegetable oil in the middle of the week. So the safe thing to do is round up to 5. And hence, now over here, I can put in a 5. And the next one is sugar granulated. So in kgs, and we also need in kgs. So 8 kgs, so we need 8 units. The next step that we want to do is use the extension cost. How do we calculate the extension cost? So the extension cost is equal to the ordered quantity multiply by the unit cost. And we say enter. And now here's the fun part. If I have the same formula for every cell, I don't need to do it. I don't need to keep doing it for each one. It's a painful process. So you can just click on the topmost cell. And if you see this little dot over here at the bottom corner, when you mouse over it, it'll become a plus. Click, hold your mouse, and drag down. And when you do this, all your answers will come up. Make sure you have decimal points. To do that, we'll use this little feature over here called increase decimal. We'll keep up to 2 decimal points. So make sure you have up to 2 decimal points just to be safe. Now, the next thing that we need to do is calculate the total. We know we want all of this, but how much does it cost? So the formula for this is equal to, you say sum, you say open bracket, and you drag all these cells, and then you leave your mouse, then you say close bracket, and press enter. And that's how you get the amount over here. Even if I just highlight all of this, I can see on the bottom of the screen my sum is 430.03. But we want to use it. We want to enter the number over here. We just don't need to know it. We need to enter it so it's visible to the supplier or to the purchase manager that he's going to spend $430. So if my chef tomorrow asks me to order some really expensive items, then I have to keep it in budget, and I have to make sure that I have to substitute some other items to keep my costs in control. Otherwise, my food cost goes very high. Good purchase managers, they have a limit. They put a number as to how much they want their orders to be. So when I was a manager, I would say that I would tell my bartender that you can order your beverages, but make sure it does not go more than X number of dollars. Your purchase order should not be anything more than, let's say, $1,000. If he goes to $1,200, he himself knows that he has to remove something from the purchase order. So that's a good way as of managers use to just maintain their costs on a regular basis. I would still filter the document and I would still scrutify whether everything in his purchase order is ordered correctly or anything unnecessary is not ordered. Somebody can make mistakes. Even though you have brown sugar and you have olive oil, they could still order more and increase this, and it's costs that you don't really want. So it's a good way for a purchase manager to just keep an eye on this. That finishes exercise 3.1. We're now going to move to another exercise in 3.2 called the Receiving Clerk's Daily Report. This is a very simple document. Over here, we have this is the receiving clerk. So now the inventory is coming to you, and you need to know what costs, how much is the cost of the material that you have received into your department. So we take a look at this document here. We're receiving 20 kgs of strip steak at the unit price of 23.08. The unit price is basically the individual price. So 1 unit costs 23.08. 20 units will cost how much? So we say equal to 20 multiplied by 23.08. Say enter. Same way for the fillet, the quantity multiplied by the unit price of 28.13. For the ribs, identical way. All right. The next step is to take a total of all of this, because these are my meats. Before I move on to my next category, I want to just take a total. So we've learned how to do a total. The total can be done in another way also. You just say equal to, and then you say this cell plus this cell plus this cell, and then you say equal to, and you'll get a number. Or I'm just going to delete this. You say equal to sum, open bracket, highlight all of this, close bracket, enter. Both formulas will work for you. The next thing that we'll do is check the Ottoman meats. Lamb legs. We've got each unit at 14.14, and we've ordered 6 units. So in the same manner, it's equal to 6 units multiplied by 14.14 equal to 84.84, and we'll use the same thing over here as well. That's how we get a number. We're going to take a total of these two cells. You can see the sum is 251.29, but we'll add it in the calculator over here and say equal to sum, open bracket, highlight the two cells, close bracket, enter. Over here, we're now going to calculate our vegetables. So this was from a different supplier, this is probably from a different supplier, so we say is equal to, we've got 2 crates. Now again, that little trick of drag and drop, I can do this individually, or I can just simply drag this down and the formulas get copied over. Over here I can say is equal to sum, open bracket, highlight all these cells, close bracket, enter. Now, I know from meats I've ordered worth 1,256.34 cents. I've ordered Ottoman meats, I've ordered 251.29 cents. And from Jones Produce vegetables and fruits and vegetables, I've ordered $141.70. But I want to know how much is my total. So I say it's equal to, I click on this cell, plus this cell, plus this cell. Say enter. And now I know my total receiving amount of, I'm receiving I'm receiving fruits, vegetables, and meats, all costing me $1,649. Okay, so this is when the material is coming in. In this week's module, you'll also learn about something called directs in stores. Directs are items that go straight into the kitchen, and stores are items that can get stored. So if you have fruits and vegetables that are perishable products, these are products that cannot be stored for very long, and they need to go straight into production. So if my lettuce comes to me, I'm just going to call my chef and say, "Hey chef, your lettuce is coming. Please send your team to come and pick it up from the store and take it immediately. It's not, or from the receiving area, and take it directly into your department, and you can prepare it and produce it the way you want." Same with onions, grapefruit, peaches. But when it comes to meat items and grains and pulses, rice, beverages, we can store these items for long periods of time and issue it only whenever it's required. Meats can be frozen. They can go into our deep freezers, into our walk-in freezers, and it can be frozen and it could be stored for a certain period of time. So these items can go into stores. So as a manager, as a receiving manager, I need to know, or as a purchase manager, I need to know how much of my product items are in the directs and how much of them are in stores. So now we're going to bifurcate this. So this amount that you see over here, meats, it's an item that can be stored. So I'm going to put it in stores. To do that, I'm just going to simply say equal to, and just click onto this cell and say enter. Same with my lamb legs and my lamb racks, they can be stored as well. So this amount will again go in my stores, and I'm going to put it over here. My vegetables are going to go directly into production. I cannot store them. They have very low shelf life. They've already gone through a transportation system, so it needs to be produced immediately. So it's going to go directly into production. So this little field over here will now go into directs. My next step is to know what is the total amount of direct material that I have and what is the total amount of stored material that I've got. So to do this, I'll just say equal to, and there's nothing much to add over here. This is all zero, so it's very simple. And for my stores, I'm going to say it's equal to the cell that I see over here plus the cell that I see over here, and I say enter. So now as a manager, I know that I received $1,649.33 worth of material. From that amount, $141.70 went towards food directs, and $1,507.63 worth of material is in my food stores at this given time of this purchase order, of this clerk's daily report. And that ends our exercise for this week's. I hope this was beneficial for you and you understood the concept. Please feel free to ask me any question that you may have in our meetings that we have. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day. See you, my friends.